Hey everybody, here we are back again. Previously we ran this little program. It's supposed to do 5 holes, and it basically looked like it went twice as far as it should have, but after looking at everything, the program is correct. I made it correct, but I started my 0 point in the wrong spot. I have kind of done a layout here and made a little grid where the holes were going to be, and you can see where the router is set up now. I had it set up here on this next closer intersection, so that's why it went here instead of to here. So we're going to try it again, see what happens. Wish me luck. Out of the way. Well, as you can see, oh shoot, the holes are basically in the right place. I have to measure that to see what exactly it turned out, but I'm sure it's a lot more correct than my quickie little layout that I did here. So, out of curiosity, let's take the ruler up here and looks like we're just a little bit narrow. Should have been 1.1 inches from center of hole to center of hole. Might be the way I'm looking at it through the camera. No, it is pretty close. Looking through the camera, it doesn't look quite right, but yeah, it looks perfect as a matter of fact. So we're impressed enough with that. We're going to mark a line right here, so we know exactly where this cut was before. So even when I re-zero this with my new part in there, I still have something of a reference line at my 5-inch point. You know, just something that shows me how far I want the back here, just to make it easier to set things up. So the next video will be with the piece of stock in there. Oh mercy, here we go. This is it, and it'll have that hole pattern drilled in it, and then I'll counterbore it and transfer those holes to the end of the torch and get it mounted on the machine and make a few parts to get rid of that. Boy, they're all pretty bad. I mean, these things rattle and vibrate, and it's really sad, but we're going to keep working on it until we get it the way we want it, step by step. piece by piece, part by part, whatever it takes. Rather make it right than make it fast. Well, unfortunately, I have a JOB. Yeah, you guys know what that is. Well, if there's anything you'd like to know or ask about what I've done here, feel free to post it in the comments section. If you like my videos, give me a thumbs up, like the video. If you want to get updates for when I make new posts, you can always subscribe. I know there's a video missing. It's number 7, and it was supposed to be the video kind of explaining my downdraft system and my air filtration system. So I have this huge fan in here. It's a 14-inch fan. It tapers down to a box that's 15 by 15 by I think 17. That this 10-inch trunk line comes out of here and goes out to the front of the table, which you guys haven't seen too much of. It's kind of at the front of the garage, not easy to get to anymore. But it opens up, that 10-inch duct goes into these boxes here. There's 2 of them on the front, there's one on each side. Let me see what I can do about some lights real quick here. The shop has definitely been rearranged to accommodate the making of my table. So yes, these 2 boxes are tied into that 10-inch trunk line. And if we look down in here, you can see that they empty out into here. They produce quite a bit of vacuum up into this point. The problem I have is that even though I have this large opening in here, it dies going into this 2x4 opening. I need an air conditioning man and consultant. So I'm having to put a speed controller on the fan to run it because I can't run it wide open because it pulls the motor down because it's restricted. I tried to give it some relief by adding these 2 3-inch lines. I've got 2 of these, one on each side of the table. They go out to the back and turn up into the back side, and I was supposed to add more vacuum. For some reason, I'm not getting very much vacuum on these whatsoever, so I know there's probably a way to baffle it or do something to make this produce more of a vacuum from these smaller vents so that I can increase the speed of my fan. But it draws through these slots. So I got some little refrigerator magnets covering up some of them. I was experimenting with them. And there's 3 on each side. There's 3 across the back. The height of the table is going to come up just about flush with the edge of the surface that's here now. So it's actually be 1 inch down. And the grates, my cutting grates that sit in the table will be flush with the top of this. So that'll produce a 1-inch area across the width of the table to draw vacuum and just keep the rest of it covered up. But so we're going to enlist some help from somebody. Hopefully somebody's watching this video and they'll say, hey, this is what you can do to get more vacuum in this spot. I mean, I thought about just cutting a massive hole there, but what good would it do if it's still restricted to a 2x4 inlet? At the present moment, I don't have any way to enlarge in this. I need all the room that I have in between the table and the rail that's there now, so I can't gain any more. I could go up higher here and, you know, maybe put another piece of 2x4 tubing on top, so that would have a little bit more of a channel, and run it down probably just past the edge of the first channel and just make it, you know, but that would mess up the top dynamics of the table. And if I put a 5-foot wide sheet up here, I want to be able to rest it on these rails and still be able to work it without having it cocked up in the air on, you know, going like that. So we're going to try to draw more vacuum from these back two and see what I can come up with between now and the time that I change out all these rails. Figure by the time I get ready to do that, that I will move these rails to another location so that I can do what I need to do excuse me, to get the right amount of airflow in my downdraft. There might be enough now, I don't know. It's a small table. It's basically the water table inside diameter is 4'2" by what is it? 4'8". So it's not a long table. It's a square table basically. But I can work every single bit of it, plus some with the way my axis travels now, and I'll even be able to make it wider with the new carriages. They won't be restricted hitting up under here under the tubing like the ones that are now. You see that bottom wheel, it would strike here if it wasn't set to a limit. So the new design, it'll roll right by here, so that'll give me more dimensions to play with. If I want to stick a big sheet of MDF up here and do a big old route or something with wood, you know, I can do, you know, whatever I like. So anyways, without boring you guys too much, I'm rambling on, I'm sure. We've been having fun with this project. Just don't ever think you can't do something. All you gotta do is start, and I guarantee you, if you're determined to finish, you will. Just know that. There's a lot of help out here. A lot of CNC forums, a lot of good information on the computer science and whatnot of setting up one of these systems. That's not really a science. It's just a few steps you have to go through to make things work correctly. So have a great evening. It's Saturday night. I think I'm going out on the town. See you later.